Yeah, and thank you for joining us. My name is Heather Fleming, and I'm the Executive Director at Changelabs. I'm joined by my colleague, Marcia Gray Eyes, who is the Director of our co-working space in Tuba City. We're going to tell you just a little bit about Changelabs and then hand it over to our speaker for today. Changelabs provides creative workspace tools, resources, and knowledge for Native entrepreneurs. And specifically, there's 5 programs that we offer to local and regional entrepreneurs. And I'm just going to quickly step through each of them. First and foremost, for any of you folks out there who are thinking about developing a website or developing your marketing material, keep in mind that we have a resident designer program at Changelabs. And this year's designer, Mariah Ashley, who's a very talented Navajo graphic designer, is available to you every second and third Thursday of the month. You can book a free appointment with her through our website, and she can help you think about how to design your website. She could critique your logo or maybe help you plan some new marketing materials for the year. And then secondly, the program that Marcia leads, again, is our co-working space in Tuba City. And it's temporarily closed while the Navajo Nation is in lockdown. But in better times, the co-working space is open Monday through Friday, and you can come in, use a desk, grab some coffee, access the Wi-Fi, do some printing. We also have a button maker, a Cricut machine, and normally that's where we host our workshops in person there. But for the foreseeable future, everything will be virtual. And probably one of the programs that we're most known for is our Business Incubator. So the Business Incubator is specifically for folks who are pretty early on in their entrepreneurial journey. Maybe you have an idea for a business, or maybe you've just started a business, but you want to lay a stronger foundation around bookkeeping or financials or marketing or strengthen aspects of your business model. Each year, we invite 10 high potential Native entrepreneurs to enroll in this program. It's a 1-year program. You'll be paired with a team of executive coaches to help you along your entrepreneurial journey. You get connected to 9 other amazing peers, entrepreneurs who are doing really cool things. And you also get access to designers to help you with your logo, your marketing materials, and so on. It's a really cool program. I highly recommend and check it out on our website. We also have a lending program, a low interest loan available to Navajo and Hopi entrepreneurs, artists, vendors, small business owners, nonprofit leaders. If COVID has hit you hard and you need a low interest loan to help you through it, we would love to talk with you about kinship lending, our microloan program. We also have an initiative that we call Doing Business, which is short for Doing Business on the Navajo Nation. And in this work, we're studying the business regulatory environment on Navajo and trying to think strategically about what changes are needed at the government level, at the chapter level, to make it easier to be a business owner on the Navajo Nation. And then I'm going to close it out by saying that in addition to these programs and these services, in general, Changelabs is trying to make it easier for entrepreneurs established on Navajo, Hopi, or the surrounding tribes, trying to make it easier to be an entrepreneur within tribal communities to help leapfrog some of those big barriers. And that leads to some of our digital initiatives, like I think Res Rising is a really great example. If you haven't already discovered Res Rising, it's a virtual yellow pages that currently has more than 630 Native-owned small businesses across the Southwest. So, the next time you're passing through, I don't know, Saley, and you're looking for the best green chili stew, you can pull out Res Rising and figure out who's selling in your area. Or the next time you need to find somebody to help you with a website, you can pull up Res Rising and see if there's a good marketing resource near you. It's a really awesome tool, and we have more digital tools like this that you can find on the Changelabs website. The last plug I'm going to make for is that don't forget, every Monday we host virtual coaching from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can sign up for this on our website. It's a complimentary service. Each appointment is 90 minutes long, and each of our coaches have different areas of expertise. Alex, for example, our brand manager, is really great at all things brand and marketing. Jessica Stego, on the other hand, is our most seasoned coach when it comes to thinking about business site leasing processes or government contracts. She's just super, super experienced when it comes to doing business on Navajo. Joe Elliott Nez is an IT specialist, so he would be a really great resource for thinking through software applications or getting your business registered in New Mexico. Check out our events page, nativestartup.org/events, to pick out a coach that you would like to work with. I am now going to hand the baton to today's speaker, Alexandra Barton, who is also on the Changelabs team. She's our brand and communications manager, and she's going to be talking with us today about boosting your social media and digital marketing knowledge. Take it away, Alex.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Alexandra Barton. Good morning, Yate. Okay, so Yate, good morning everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our social media and digital marketing webinar. This workshop is intended for those who have small businesses and are looking to better their skills in social media marketing. I'm excited to share some of the great social media tips with you, and I hope you find this content helpful and useful. Before we get started, let's make sure again, I know Marsha mentioned it earlier, but let's make sure our speaker volumes are on mute. And if you have any questions or comments to make throughout the presentation, you can type it in the chat box or save it until the end when we are open for inquiries. All right, so here's a few facts about me. I was born in Fort Defiance, Arizona, Diné and Zuni. I think I'm about 3/4 Diné and 1/4 Zuni, little small part. She'e Alexandra Bartani Nishia, Toheglini Nishle, She'e Bashishchin, Tachini Dashinella Todik Oja Dashiche. I am a Diné woman and I reside in Fort Defiance, Arizona. I went to school for graphic design in Santa Fe University of Art and Design, and that's where my design career sort of derived from. From then, I became a studio artist. I also do painting with acrylic and oil and watercolor. And I also have some experience in website development. And now I am with Changelabs. Marcia said a little under a year, and that's correct. I'm the brand and communications manager. So let's see here. Those are just a few facts about me. By now, maybe you all are running your own businesses. You have your own social media accounts established, and you're looking for some tips about what is social media all about? Why do we need it? What's the point? What's the point of social media? So I'd like to shed some light on the essentials of social media and why it's important to grow your business. Okay, let's see. So why should I use social media? Um, Today, there's mostly a lot of young people especially, are turning to social media as a way to get to know a brand. When it comes to when you see something on TV or you're searching through the internet and you see a logo or you see a name, the first instinct is to hop onto Instagram or Facebook and look up that logo or look up that name that you saw. So people are becoming more invested in the company's culture and causes that are important to them. When you're showcasing your brand, you're also showcasing what you represent, and that's how you connect to others. Is when you believe the same culture and same causes. Social media is a great way to show your brand and culture and help your customers become your own personal marketing team. Um, an instant way to connect with your customers is to help them become invested in your brand. And it's a way to reach new customers in that may not have found your brand in any other way. That you can use social media networks to let your customers know about new products or awesome things going on in your company. And it is an easy way to advertise new products or information to your followers. That's because most of the time it's free to set up an account. You can create your own context, and content. Sorry. Okay, so by now, let's see here, design and page setup. This is sort of the fun part about having social media accounts is you can put together um, all your own content. So we can go over a few tips. Profile design, page and setup. So basically, you don't want to leave the about or bio sections of your profile blank. Maybe it's at the top of your Instagram page or it's in your Facebook bio or your Twitter bio. You want to make sure your profile looks established and complete to build credibility. Um, use and use an exciting and compelling short bio used by hashtags to target social media engines. The short bio should draw someone in who might be interested in your product or service. And then of course you want to make sure all of your contact information and URLs are up to date in your customers so your customers can find you. Okay, tips for the actual design. Next slide, please. Thank you. So you want to be consistent at all times. You never want to leave your photo or your default photo area blank. This is, again, so your profile looks credible. You can also use the cover area as a way to advertise special promotions or events. This is a great place to use to take advantage as it is the first thing someone will see when they visit your page. So here you can see they have the same banner across their Facebook page and the same banner across their Twitter page and the same logo in the profile picture. So you want to make sure you have your branding established when it comes to colors, when it comes to the type of font you use, and then the pictures you use. If you're running a promotion, it should be across every social media platform that you have. Uh, that way, you're easily recognizable. Okay. Okay, next is content, which is definitely the most important aspect to your profile. I know some of you might be wondering, what should I be posting? You're definitely not alone. So let's go ahead and talk about what type of content you can post. When creating content, you should always be thinking about quality over quantity. Um, Post often and actively, but make sure your unique and valuable content to share. You'd want to be engaging with your audience often, but you want to be giving them content that they are going to find insightful and useful. Post about products that you would like to promote or products you would like to sell more of. Post informational materials such as ebooks, white papers. White papers are marketing material that helps boost information about your business, such as articles or if there's a place where it showcases graphs or any information that supports your business. Yeah, or videos to help educate your customers on products you sell. You want to show them you are a knowledge leader in your industry to create a trustworthy brand. Create videos to teach your customers about your products or industry. And that's to get your audience engaged. Video is a powerful tool to when it comes to today's market and typically gets tons of engagement. You can go about this by creating a YouTube channel or possibly taking advantage of the IGTV feature on Instagram. That's where I see a lot of people, depending on your business, it could be like a product reveal. Usually it's the CEO of the business showcasing the product and talking about every detail about how it was made, where it comes from. And it's an easy way to show your face to your audience and show your face along with your product to your audience. You can also use the tagging system, the hashtagging system, to make sure you write an accurate description on each video. This pertains to YouTube, so your content will show up quickly in search results. So a number one tip, very important, is, I would say, to keep it interesting. In social media, you don't even have half a second to capture someone's attention as they're scrolling through their newsfeed. So you want to create interesting headlines for your products. Use visuals such as photos or graphics to grab their attention. Let's see. You can also engage with your audience by using hashtags or even ask a conversation starting question. Remember that most of us are being pretty much bombarded with advertising, so try not to be too salesy with your content. You don't always want to be posting about sales and promotions. So a good rule of thumb would be to post one piece of sales content to every 7 pieces of educational content. That way, you're engaging with your audience on a more intellectual level rather than reciting a sales pitch. So, for example, you could post a picture about what's happening, what's the word, behind the scenes of the product you're making or whatever you're producing. And there's different ways to showcase your product without saying, hey, buy this. Let's see here. And then also remember that some networks only allow certain types of content. So create a profile on the networks you know your business will utilize. For example, Instagram only allows for images and short videos. I think the videos that you can post on your regular feed are about 60 seconds long, unless you're using the IGTV feature. And then Twitter limits your character count on one post to 140 characters. So you want to make sure to only make accounts on networks that you know your business will use. There's nothing worse than having a profile with no content or very, very old content on it when it's just sitting there aging. That's not a good thing. How to connect with your customers. So the best thing about social media truly is the social aspect about it. It allows you to engage with your customers better than you ever have before, or even better than when you're in person or other ways of communication. Interact with your customers and other people in the industry. Using social media, you might not be able to reach an audience that you wouldn't be able to reach in any other way of marketing, like I said, whether it's in person or anywhere else. Social media gives you a unique platform to personally speak with your customer and your audience. You can also help your social media reach by engaging with other people's businesses, by liking, sharing, retweeting their posts. For example, you might find an article that might be interesting and you would want to share with others. So you basically thank that person by sharing their posts with your following, and they might return the favor by engaging more with your content and by sharing it to their network. You can also gain more followers this way. When you engage with people, they will most likely engage back. If you follow someone, they will most likely follow you back, but be sure not to follow everyone just to gain followers. This is not a good way to gain followers to engage with your posts, and it's also against most networks' terms and conditions. So that's how I think that's the best use for social media, is actually being social. And instead of just showcasing yourself, it's great to support others, like-minded business owners, people who are in the same business as you. I think that's how you are able to have community and gain community online. You can also engage by asking questions. It could be as simple as, what do you think of this new product? How, what kind of content do you want us to post? What are you looking for? Just kind of asking questions about what your customers like and what they don't like. Okay, so I had a time management slide in here, but I think it might have not been added to this slide deck. Otherwise, we're here at the end. That was quick. Okay, let's move on to the questions. I can see the chat window blowing up. Okay, so I see a question from to Gary Bykitty. Any fees with Instagram and YouTube? No, when you're setting up an account on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, it's all free.
Unless you're selling directly, then there's a cost.
That's true.
And sorry everybody, this is Heather. I just posted a link to a workshop that we did last year that covered just exactly that question. And it was put together by Mariah Ashley, our resident designer, and myself. And in that workshop, Mariah goes over the costs of directly selling on Instagram. And I just want to clarify that there's two ways to sell at Instagram. You can post your stuff and then put a link that's free to do, or you can set it up so that people can buy, like click on a product, and then it either takes them to your website, or you can buy right then and there. And for that, there is a transaction fee.
Okay, so Ronalda, is there a way to engage more people to watch your live feed? Yes, you can possibly come up with some promos maybe a week before, 2 weeks before. You could post some content about saying what day you're going to go live and what time you're going to go live, and what exactly you're going to be showcasing. So you can sort of build an anticipation in that way. And then I guess just keep reminding people through using if it's Facebook, just make a post. If it's Instagram, you can use your story feature and just let everybody know I'm going live at this time. Here's the countdown. I know Instagram has a feature where you can post on your story and post a little countdown box maybe 24 hours before and say, we're going live at this time tomorrow, and it'll count down, and then people can keep up with you. Is there a way to engage? Oh, sorry. Is it good to set up as a business? I think that was pertaining to Instagram and Facebook. And I think that would be a yes.
I'll add to that if you're going to sell directly, you have to set up as a business, especially through Facebook. It's required. But if you're not going to sell directly, then there's no need to. And this is all covered in the workshop link that I posted earlier.
And then I see from Kelsey, what was my time management info? So I'm a little disappointed because there was 2 more slides at the end of my presentation. So with time management, I think it can become a bit overwhelming when you think about, so I have all these social media accounts that I have to manage while I'm actually running my business. How important is it? Do I need to hire somebody? And sometimes I think when people move along, they do hire social media managers for themselves. If not, there are ways, and I can see right here from Chelsea, it says, any tricks or tools that you recommend for planning out social media content. So there are different applications to plan what you're going to post. Um, I've seen on Instagram people who are strictly social media managers, they will post calendars of what exactly they need to post and what day they want to engage with their audience. And they'll plan everything a month ahead of time. And that's how they keep up with social media. So I think the answer would be to be proactive. And if it feels overwhelming, you can hire somebody to help you and be strictly your social media manager. Okay, so for example, um, there are a few applications. One of them is called Planoly, and that will help you post. I think it's mostly catered to Instagram. Oh, okay. And then says many people believe Facebook has lost its popularity to Instagram. What's my opinion on this? I noticed that Facebook, I don't think, I think Facebook has a bit of a more mature audience. Most of the time, I see Facebook being used for business, but mostly I see people using it for family um, and, uh, and keeping close contact with their family. On Instagram, it is very much catered to businesses. You're able to brand yourself more easily on Instagram. Uh, and I do agree. And also, it is catered towards a younger audience. I believe the majority of everybody on Instagram is probably mm, under 40, 35 in that range, below that age range. And I think that's where a lot of people actually look for shopping. They look for what's up to date with whatever business they're interested in. By hashtagging in posts, does that generate more organic searches? Yes. Hashtagging will help you boost your posts. It will also help your posts turn up in search engines. It will help your posts turn up if somebody's looking for content related to whatever you're selling. So I would definitely use hashtags a lot more. Can you give an example of the Changelab clients you assisted? Let's see here. So mostly I've worked with some of the people in our cohort. For example, I worked with Trio Quality Services. We put together their logo. We are in the process of launching their website. Um, and I think that will be up probably within the next week. So you'll be able to see that.
Can I provide a few more examples of other Changelabs clients?
Yes.
So we also just worked with Hosteen So Photography on setting up their social media channels and his first website. So that's a new business from Erwin So up in Page. And we also worked with Robert Blackcat Jr. in Tuba City. He just transitioned his business online at the tail end of last year. It's r2blackcatjewelry.com. And he already had social media channels. So for him, it was important to have a website where he could direct people to buy the products that he posts on Instagram. And so that's how he's using both his social media, he's using his social media channel to direct people to his new website where people can buy. And it's a similar strategy for another jeweler that we worked with, who's also one of our borrowers through kinship lending. And that's JJJ's Beaded Jewelry out of Sanders, Arizona. They're jjjsbeadedjewelry.com. We worked with their family to create that website, and again, similar strategy to R2 Black Hat in that they are using free social media accounts to direct people to their website to purchase. And there's a few more examples, but I think those folks are probably the best ones who are using social media and website to drive customer behavior and to create those interactions.
Kendall Sorrell. So is Instagram a better platform to start a business? Depending on your business, if your business is products, yes. If your business is services, I really think Instagram is a great way to put yourself out there. I think there's a lot of engagement through Instagram. I think it's a great way for you to post who you are. It's a great way to post the products you sell. It's a great way to keep up with how everybody's moving along in the social media world. I think Instagram is a portal to what's happening on Twitter, what's happening on Facebook, what's happening on other platforms. Somehow Instagram it filters all of it. You're able to engage with screenshots screenshots of what's happening on Twitter, screenshots of what's happening on Facebook. There's links to YouTube. I think it's a great portal where a lot of social media platforms meet, and you're able to keep up with everybody, and they're able to keep up with you. So yes, I think it's a great place to start. Okay, so Jancy said that she uses the application called Later, and that's what helps her post, schedule her post beforehand, and it's spelled Later, capital Later. Okay, so Janet asked, how do you come up with hashtags? And then Kelsey responded, she used keywords.com for help. You can try that. Hashtags, usually, let's see, let's think of an example. So I usually use my Instagram to post paintings that I'm working on, or a painting that is up for sale. So the hashtags I would use is whatever is related to that post. And most of the time it would be hashtag Native American, hashtag acrylic paint, hashtag oil or watercolor, whatever medium I was using. Maybe hashtag Navajo land, hashtag Hopi land, hashtag what tribe you are. That's what I would do for a post related to my painting. If it's a post related to, let's say maybe coffee, if your business is coffee, then you would break it down to, well, I guess you could start with Native American business or hashtag small businesses, and then break it down to what kind of coffee bean you're using, or the location, maybe some brands that you support, hashtag this coffee brand, hashtag. I think hashtags, it's all the details that surround your business or that particular post that you're putting up. But Kelsey said she uses keywords.com. So there's a good source for you. Analytics to improve Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay. So there are ways to do this. You'd have to go into your application. How would you explain how to get there, Heather, for Facebook Analytics and Instagram?
I'm sorry, the question was
Uh,
where to look for Facebook analytics.
yes, and Instagram.
Um, I actually I don't use Instagram analytics, and that's primarily because Changelabs doesn't use Instagram as much as it uses Facebook, and that's a conscious decision on our part based on our target audience. So unfortunately, I'm not the best person to ask about Instagram analytics. I will say though that for Facebook, they do a pretty great job of of posting your analytics in various locations. So I review our ad analytics, and then I also track just the insights that they post on your. So if you manage a page for your business, for example, that's just posted on your dashboard as an administrator anytime that you're on your page. And it'll give you a sense of how many people that you reached in a specific time frame, how people are engaging in posts, the number of likes, and whether that's up or down from, you know, last year at this time or the previous month. So for me personally, that's kind of a good way for me to engage, to understand like, oh, wow, posts aren't doing that great this month. I'm not sure why. And then you can click further to sort of see how individual posts are doing. And that for me is like I've learned quickly that the our strongest posts at Changelabs on Facebook, anytime we post about Native American entrepreneurs, photography and stories, that generates the most engagement. And so um, you can you can look at your post performance on Facebook and get that feedback. You can also, I think, as somebody mentioned, subscribe to or get specific analytics tools, and sometimes that can get you even more information like demographics and, you know, the people who clicked on the post, where are they located and what are their interests. You can only get some of that with Facebook or Google Analytics, and then there's a point where usually you have to pay for that type of service. So I guess it depends on how targeted you want to be with your advertising and with your posts, but analytics could be a whole separate workshop topic. So maybe if there's enough votes for that, we could let Marcia know and see if we can pull in somebody who's an analytics guru.
That's what I was going to say too. It could probably be a whole new workshop.
I think it's a great idea if people are interested.
Okay. Cheryl Willie said, may you show some examples of your work? Okay, let's see here. I think I can go ahead and show you my Instagram. This is where I share most of my work. So let's see here if I can share the screen. 1 second. Okay, here we are. Here's my Instagram. Uh, so like I said, I mostly share what I paint. I do have to admit I don't share too much graphic design work. And I think it's because when I'm doing design work, it's a bit more fast paced and I tend to forget to share it versus paintings. So what I do here on my Instagram is I like to share stories. It kind of shows what's happening in real time, and I'll save my stories to showcase what happened at the moment instead of let's see here, instead of making an actual post about it. Oh gosh, okay. So here we are. There's a painting I did in watercolor. This is all watercolor work. That's acrylic. I was able to work with the group, a render tribe. I was one of the head designers for I think about a year. We worked on a lot of projects. One of the projects here was Zisladzan Command Center, and that's when the pandemic began. And we put together this logo slash t-shirt design that represented all of the women coming together to help provide assistance across the reservation. There was a big group of us who were working hard to get PPE during the time when it all hit, and we needed something to represent all of us. And it wasn't just our group. The logo was created for a lot of the women across the reservation, like those in Changelabs, Jessica, Marcia, Heather, and then let's see. There's just so many names, right? Um, I forget the Dr. I forget her name, but we worked with her a lot. And then also Michelle, Dr. Michelle. And then, I mean, the list goes on, but that's the logo and t-shirt design we created. And then I also paint jean jackets. And what I do here, all of these pictures I just took with my iPhone. And I asked a few of my friends to wear my jackets, and then I took pictures of them. Right here on the left, I just hung up the jacket on the wall and put a plant there to make it look professional, to make it look like it's in a shop or a studio. Very clean white spaces. All of the jackets are centered in the pictures. So whatever your product, when you take pictures of products, you can center it. For me, I tried to put together a story right here with this corn jacket. It was during fair time. So I was pretending like that's my grandpa's truck. I'm putting the umbrella in to go sit on the side of the road and watch the parade. So when you're putting together content, that's how I kind of made it relatable. And yeah, so that's what I did there. And then I have a progress video. It's a time lapse of when I did a commission work for somebody. Most of these pictures are of my family, of my friends, and I just had them model here and there, and I use my iPhone. So that's how simple it can be. None of it was professionally done. It was just my iPhone. Right here on the left, it was just in my neighborhood, and I had my mom hold up my paintings, and then I just angled the camera to where it didn't show any of the neighborhood, just showed the sky and the painting. So these are ways you can put together your feed. If you notice, I have a color theme, which is sort of blues and purples and pinks. And if not blues, purples, and pinks, then it's black and white. So that's another way to brand yourself, like choosing colors and being consistent with all of it.
If you all can see the screen, I am I just posted, or I just quickly made a new slide that has some of the fantastic Navajo, mostly Navajo, now that I'm looking at this list, and that's not intentional, but these are really great website graphic designers who also have some expertise in social media, in case it helps with specific contact information and where these folks are located.
Okay, so I see two people asking and commenting about any Native American social media managers. And I think that's a really great question. I can't think of anybody at the top of my head, but I think it would be great to sort of, maybe we could outreach and ask who is out there and then promote them with Changelabs, because Heather, can you think of anybody at the top of your head?
I posted Amanda June over at Smokefire Media down in Phoenix. We've hired her in the past to do run a social media campaign for us, and also create social media influencer events for us. And she's pretty connected to that community down in Southern Arizona. But I know there's more folks. I feel like there's quite a bit, but we've had the most experience working with Amanda June, and I haven't really experienced working with anybody else. So, but if we do, we'll let the group know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we could put together a list. Um, Yeah, there's several photographers and videographers who are hired by contract, and they help put together content for other businesses. One off the top of my head would be Sean Price. S8. Let me go ahead and put his name right here. He's done a lot of really great work for videography and photography. I believe the best way to get a hold of him is probably through his Instagram. Let me go ahead and drop his handle. 1 second. Okay, there it is. Let's see here. Oh, how do you make your categories for stories to save? Okay, let's see here. Let me take a look. A few of the stories that I saved are just sort of like a photo dump, and that sort of for me, it allows me to show people who I am as an artist, places I've been, what I represent, what I believe in. That's one category on my story, and most of the time it's pictures of Navajo land. It's pictures of maybe music I was interested in. Let's see here. There's a picture of the carnival during the fair time. There's a picture of an art show that I attended. Pictures of my family. So it's a bit more personal. One of the story highlights that I have. The next one is some old work. So I made a timeline of when I first started painting, some old work that's not on my regular feed, just so people could scroll through that and see a little bit more background. Another way I categorize is projects. So when we did the Zith Ladzan Command Center project, it was actually, the whole story was featured in Vogue actually, and it got pretty exciting. And so I would post to my story about it, and then I decided to keep it in my highlights just to show some of the credibility done with the work. And then another project was Voices of Si Hassan, and that was a virtual concert. It was a benefit concert where all the donations we made was given back to the Navajo reservation. And all the promo we did for that, the lineup, all of the people who were involved, the singers, the artists, I posted about it on my story, and then now it's just saved to my highlights, so people can sort of go back in time and see projects that I've done that I'm not posting to my regular content on Instagram. Then another highlight is when I traveled to Tuba City to help with Changelabs to help put up some of the work we did. A couple of call to action projects. So there's ways you can categorize it in different projects you do, or I think that's mostly what I do. And I think that's what a lot of people do, sort of to show what they've done and who they've been involved with when it comes to their products, their services, just the work they do. Okay, great. I think one of the number one tips I can give about social media is to be consistent with posting maybe twice a week, once a week. It doesn't have to be an overload. And then also to communicate with other people, other like-minded folks out there who are in the business as well. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, to respond to their stories, make comments in their posts, so they can do the same for you. That's the way to build your community. There's direct messages. You can ask them a question, send them a message in maybe Facebook Messenger, like Twitter direct messages, Instagram direct messages. You can ask for collaborations. Just reach out to them and reach out to others and build your community, especially with your customers. Just constant communication. I feel like those are my last remarks. Is there any more questions?
And next, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have another workshop. It's accessing capital for your small business on February 10th, 2021 at 11 a.m. again. And our guest speaker is our co-founder, Jessica Stego. She's awesome. So tune in if you have the time. We'd love to have you on board again. And thank you to everyone that's attended today. And if you have any questions, or if you want to know where you can access our YouTube channel, or if you want to set up a meeting with a business coach, any questions that you might have pertaining to Changelabs and our services, you can email me at nativestartup.org. And if you would like to be added to our mailing list as well, please let me know. Send me an email and we'll make sure that you get added to our mailing list. Thank you, everyone.